And we're back with Martin the Mechanic, who survived now to the third round of the 40K League in Ontario.
Yes, third round of the 40K League at the bottom.
At the bottom?
I'm at the bottom.
So no games won.
No games won yet.
What's your score?
My current total is 151.
That's actually a pretty good score.
No, it was 66 and 85.
So who was your tormentor?
My first opponent was Armando. Great guy. It's fun to play with. He knows AdMech and Knights way better than I do. And it showed in the game. I made some tactical errors, and then he exploited them as he should have. But it was really fun to hang out with him and Hamza after, and it was a really great game.
So obviously you didn't bring this army. What did you bring?
So my first game, I had the Knight Warden, who's my warlord. He's always going to be my warlord. I had a Knight Gallant, and I had a Helvern, who's right there, and then I had 6 Castellan robots, these guys, but there were 6 of them. And that was really fun. I had 3 units of Rangers, and a Tech Priest, and a Data Smith.
So what do you think went well, and where did you not go so well?
Well, what went well was my deployment. That was really good for me. What went wrong was I picked the wrong secondaries because I was playing more aggressively, where with my army I should be playing more defensively the way that this army is designed. It should be shooting from the back lines and not running up the board trying to destroy my opponent.
And what secondaries did you try and achieve?
I took To the Last, Engage on All Fronts, and the mission specific for mission number 11.
And at what point did you know exactly that things were not going the way you wanted them to go?
The turning point of that game was probably turn 3, where Armando managed to kill both of my knights and both of my units of robots, my Castellan robots, because at that point I've pretty much lost all my hitting and firing power.
How did you get them to make them both go boom?
Well, he killed the one knight because when I moved him in and I tried to charge, I didn't get the charge off, so on his turn he just shot him to death with a thermal cannon, which a thermal cannon versus a knight is, if you get enough shots off, it's gonna kill you. And when you're that close, you're getting the extra damage.
So that was game 1. What happened to game 2?
The second game was against Adam, but he was playing Dark Angels. Dark Angels are a love of mine. So when I got there, we set up the board. I didn't have to explain my army to him because, well, he plays Knights and AdMech, and he didn't have to explain his army to me because I know Dark Angels. So the game was fun. It was great. It was a very close nail biter of a game with his 100 points to my 85. So it was a great game for me because I scored 85 points. It was an even better game for him because he scored 100. But his army, with the way it's designed, was perfect for the mission we were playing, which was mission 33. So his secondaries were the ones I would have taken, which was the mission specific, which is you hold an objective, and each turn you hold it, you get a victory point. So he ended up getting all 15 for that one. And then for his other ones, he had To the Last, which was Azrael, the Talon Master, and his 10-man squad of Deathwing Terminators. So that's not very good for me. And then he had Stubborn Defiance, which, because he's using a Deathwing detachment, his Terminators are OBSEC, and they were literally sitting on his home objective. So that unit's pretty hard to move. So, and with the objective being behind a building that I can't see through, made trying to shoot him very hard. But much like him, I had picked my secondaries for that game were Raise the Banners, To the Last, and the mission specific one, which I held that all game. All Might to the last survive. But Raise the Banners High was not a good one to pick, with his bikes moving so fast and being able to wipe out my Skitarii Rangers like they were nothing.
But that's where things really went south, didn't they?
Yeah, it was the bikes being able to move up so fast and wipe out my scoring units, we'll call them.
And what went well?
Well, on that game I played very well was I kept all my units for to the last at the back of the table, meaning that once I dealt with his fast-moving bikes, he had no hope in getting to them to destroy them unless he brought out his guys to try and take them out. So it was kind of a cat and mouse game with trying to see who could kill who's to the last, and that was pretty fun. But that was a fun game. And afterwards, talked about it and figured that the Gallant isn't meant for my list, so I should bring a Knight Castellan, which is why my list now looks a lot different than when it did when I first started.
Look at that big boy in the back there.
Yeah. So this list now is a Knight Castellan, 2 Warglaves, a Knight Warden, a Helvern, 2 Castellan robots, 2 Iron Striders with Cognis Las cannons. Those things are going to be fun. And then I have 2 units of Rangers and a Tech Priest Dominus. So it'll be interesting to see how this works out.
Who's your next victim?
I am against, I want to say his name is Jordan. I don't know how to say his last name. I'm not even going to try to butcher his last name because that's just wrong.
What's Jordan playing?
He is playing Iron Hands, which is Space Marines, which is going to be fun because Space Marines are always fun, and Iron Hands are just that much more interesting to play against with their ignoring wounds on a 6.
So I guess we're going to be having a fairly vehicle-heavy list. What do you think he's going to bring, and what do you expect him to do?
I'm assuming he's going to bring his 3 dreadnoughts up the board with the tech marine he has, and start trying to take objectives because his tech marine has rights of war, which make core units obsec. And if I'm not mistaken, those dreadnoughts all have the core keyword.
They do.
So I'm pretty sure that's what his plan is going to be, is to bring them up because they are his more durable of units. Unfortunately, I do pack a lot of firepower to take out said units. And it'll be interesting to see how this game goes.
So are any of the Dreadies characters?
No, none of his dreadnoughts are characters.
Well, that's weird.
That I know of. I didn't really look at his list that well.
Yeah, usually, Iron Hands dreadnoughts are at least going to be some characters.
Good to know.
What do you think you're going to achieve in this round?
My goal is to score 50 points. Just keep it on the same. I'd like to win, but I'm not in it to win. I'm in it for fun.
Glad to hear you're out there to have some fun. I hope you go out there, do some kicking some ass if you can, Mr. Mechanic. But no matter what's going to happen, we're going to go 3 shots in. And so thank you for your time today.
Thank you.